The series kicks off with high-stakes drama on the South Korean side of the demilitarized zone. 3 North Korean soldiers have crossed the border and seized hostages inside a military watch station. In a tense war room, South Korean generals and government officials debate their options. It's clear the North wants to provoke a military response that could shatter the fragile peace agreement. In response, the elite white team special forces are deployed, led by Captain Yoo Se-jin, calm and authoritative, and his second-in-command, Seo Tae-young. Surveying the situation, Soo-jin and Dae-young make a calculated move. Unarmed, they walk straight into the hostage site, signaling their peaceful approach. Inside, they're immediately pulled into a standoff. The North Korean captain challenges them to a no-guns knife fight, and the tension erupts into brutal hand-to-hand combat. It's bloody and raw, with blades slashing and fists flying. Soo-jin ends the fight with a blade to the captain's throat. The enemy mocks him for hesitating, calling South Koreans weak. But Soo-jin coolly says it's not weakness, it's restraint. He warns the soldier holding a gun to his head that there's a sniper aimed at him right now, ready to pull the trigger if needed. The tension breaks, and the next scene flips the mood completely. Soo-jin and Dae-young are back in Seoul, hanging out at an arcade and failing miserably at winning stuffed animals with BB guns. They blame the rigged machines, but the manager tells them those are real military models and mocks their aim. Suddenly, someone yells about a thief. The two spring into action, grabbing BB guns and shooting at a guy fleeing on a motorbike. Soo-jin nails the shot, and the thief crashes. It turns out to be a young guy who's banged up. Soo-jin patches him up while Dae-young calls an ambulance. Before they leave, Soo-jin manages to bribe the arcade owner with charm and sarcasm, scoring a whole armful of stuffed animals. Later, at a cafe, they sit with their plush toys, joking around. Soo-jin teases Dae-young about his rabbit, calling it his girlfriend. Dae-young tries to brush it off, but Soo-jin doesn't let up, teasing him for going soft. Dae-young admits he felt sorry for the thief, reminded of his own rough past. Their playful banter is interrupted when Soo-jin's army buddy calls. Dae-young warns him not to answer, but Soo-jin jokes his way through it, threatening to involve Dae-young's cousin if he doesn't cooperate. But then they realize something serious as the thief stole Dae-young's phone while they were helping him. They rush to the hospital, where the thief has just been brought in. A nurse picks up Dae-young's phone, and when it rings, she assumes it belongs to the thief. Dr. Gang Moyeon, confident and sharp, treats the thief. She reads a note hidden in his clothes from Soo-jin, warning that he is faking it. She orders tests, but left alone, the thief slips away. Moyeon later spots him trying to escape again and hauls him back inside, just as the head nurse scolds the staff for letting him wander off. The thief claims his gangster friends will find him soon, and when he says he needs the restroom, he hands Dae-young's phone to Moyeon to earn her trust. A call comes in from Big Boss, and Moyeon assumes it's a gang name. Soo-jin and Dae-young arrive, spotting some shady-looking guys outside. Realizing things are heating up, they head inside. Soo-jin calls the phone, and Moyeon answers while treating another patient. She meets Soo-jin and Dae-young, still assuming they're part of the criminal world. The thief escapes again, and the two soldiers chase after him. Outside, they find the thief being beaten by gangsters. The thief begs for help, explaining he wants to leave the gang, but they're demanding a massive exit fee. Dae-young, unimpressed, jokes that inflation must be high. The gangsters mistake him for one of their own, until Dae-young dares them to take his wallet if they want the money. He declares he's the boys' Hyung now and takes the gang down with swift military precision. The gangsters retaliate with knives, and Soo-jin joins in the fight. Back at the hospital, Moyeon is surprised to find a familiar face, Yoon Myung-ju, a fellow doctor from her residency days, now in military uniform. There's clear tension between them. Moyeon is still bitter that Myung-ju dated the guy she once had feelings for. Myung-ju demands the patient's chart, scolding Moyeon for losing someone she claims is very important. Moyeon warns that if the patient isn't found, Myung-ju will have to take responsibility. Meanwhile, Moyeon and a colleague gossip about Myung-ju's love life. It turns out she's dating a lower-ranked soldier, a relationship frowned upon by her powerful military family. Turns out that the soldier is Seo Tae-young. When Soo-jin and Dae-young return with the thief, Myung-ju is already there, waiting. Soo-jin heads to the ER, while Dae-young is left face-to-face with Myung-ju, who demands an explanation for his silence and disappearance. Dae-young gives her nothing but cold indifference, saying he simply changed his mind. She pulls rank, ordering him to salute and stay frozen in place until sunrise. Soo-jin interrupts, telling Dae-young to drop the salute and accusing Myung-ju of being too harsh. She jokingly calls them deserters and tells Mo-yeon to go ahead and report them. Mo-yeon demands the hospital's CCTV footage to confirm who's telling the truth. While waiting, she quizzes Shi-jin on his connection to Myung-ju. He says there's nothing romantic, only a military chain of command. Mo-yeon doesn't believe him. He jokes that he looks trustworthy. She fires back that so do serial killers. The banter shifts slightly when Shi-jin assures her he only protects children, elderly people, and beautiful women. Mo-yeon assumes she falls into one of those categories, but Shi-jin disagrees, prompting another teasing exchange. Meanwhile, Dae-young sits with the now-recovering thief, Kim Ki-bum. He questions the boy's martial arts background and why he didn't fight back. Ki-bum admits he studied Taekwondo, but didn't want to escalate the situation. When asked about family, he says he has none. Dae-young tells him he does now. He's family. Mo-yeon finally watches the security footage and sees the truth. Shi-jin and Dae-young saved the thief. Impressed, she apologizes to Shi-jin. He jokes that she can make it up to him by treating his injury. When she checks his belly, she realizes he's actually bleeding. Mo-yeon quickly patches him up and notices signs of previous gunshot wounds. She brings up her time volunteering in Africa. Shi-jin responds that he got the injury rescuing a comrade in Normandy, jokingly referencing Saving Private Ryan. There's undeniable chemistry as the moment lingers. Mo-yeon insists he should see a real doctor. Shi-jin says he will, if she's the one treating him. She agrees and tells him to return the next day at 2 p.m. The next day, Shi-jin tries on outfits like he's prepping for a date. His squad teases him for taking it so seriously. Talk shifts to Myung-ju, and when someone casually mentions she was dumped by another soldier, the room goes silent as Dae-young walks in. Later, Shi-jin spots Dae-young paying Ki-bum's hospital bills, a quiet act of kindness. Ki-bum pretends not to care, but curiosity wins. He asks how Dae-young left the gang without paying the price. Dae-young says he went somewhere they couldn't follow. Shi-jin arrives at the hospital, ready for his 2 p.m. appointment, but Mo-yeon is in the middle of emergency surgery. He helps wheel in the patient but doesn't interrupt. He waits the entire day. By the time she finishes, it's well past 6 p.m. Mo-yeon calls to apologize, and they talk with ease. She jokes about standing him up. He says it's a first, but he's just glad the patient survived. Their conversation is playful and flirty. When Shi-jin suggests meeting immediately, Mo-yeon agrees. Just as Shi-jin checks movie times in the hospital lobby, breaking news flashes on the TV about a conflict in the Middle East. His expression turns serious. He answers a call and informs the person he's at the hospital. Then he calls Mo-yeon, apologizing for canceling. He tells her to meet him on the rooftop. A helicopter hovers above, waiting to airlift him out. Mo-yeon asks if a war has started. Shi-jin assures her the conflict is far away. He promises to return safely and asks her to go on a proper date with him when he does. Before boarding the chopper, he turns to her and asks if she likes him. She says she does and wants to see him again. He smiles before walking off. In the final moments, Shujin's squad boards a military transport plane. The pilot announces they've entered combat airspace. The team removes their dog tags in silence. When a young soldier asks why, Dae-young says it's so they can't be identified if they die. As the hatch opens, flames light up the battlefield below. Shi-jin reveals their destination, Afghanistan. As Mo-yeon watches Shujin leave, standing alone on the hospital rooftop, Dr. Song joins her, teasing her about her sky-gazing habit and joking that Korean soldiers don't get dramatic chopper pickups. Mo-yeon just says, "He left," and Dr. Song offers a shrugging kind of reassurance. Maybe he had a legit reason. Turns out Shi-jin did have a reason. He and Alpha Team are deployed to Afghanistan for a joint rescue operation with U.S. forces. 2 UN officials were kidnapped by ISIS, and it's time to go. Their first mission starts rough when one of the rookies triggers a tripwire. Luckily, it's a drill. The U.S. captain rolls in full of swagger, throws a knife into the ground like he's cosplaying Rambo, and mocks the Korean squad. Shi-jin casually hurls the knife back, landing it millimeters from the guy. A test of ego turns into a full-on fight. Bare fists, no words, all testosterone. Dae-young holds the others back, knowing this isn't just a scuffle, it's a trust test in military language. Shi-jin wins the bout, of course, but they're both yanked back to duty before it escalates further. Back in Seoul, Mo-yeon is all smiles after her professor interview. 3rd time's the charm, right? But then in strolls Dr. Kim Yoon-ji, younger, way less experienced, and dressed more like she's going clubbing than applying for a medical role. Turns out she also interviewed for the same job, and somehow she's feeling really confident. Dr. Pyo is pissed, and honestly, so is Mo Yan. That frustration bubbles up in the OR. Mo Yan and Dr. Kim are scheduled for surgery, but Kim insists she's in charge and says the chair approved it. Things go south fast. Kim makes a critical error, and blood starts pouring. Mo Yan takes over like a pro and saves the day. The editing bounces between the chaotic OR and the high-stakes Afghan battlefield, where Shijin is in full hero mode, rescuing the hostages just before they're executed. It's a perfect split-screen vibe. Mo Yan saves a life with a scalpel, Shijin with a rifle. After surgery, Mo Yan storms out, done with Kim's incompetence. Dr. Zhang, the younger OB, comforts her. Mo Yan worries she'll be raising a baby alone, but Zhang surprises her. She's engaged now. No single mom life incoming. Cute little twist. Then Dr. Lee shows up, frantic because he lost his wedding ring. He ropes Mo Yan into his panic mission, searching bins and pockets. Turns out, it was in his scrubs the whole time. He flashes that dumb, innocent smile and escapes wrath. Barely. Later, Mo Yan chats with Dr. Pyo, who brings up Shijin. Since he hasn't called, Mo Yan figures he's not a phone guy, but she's clearly still into him. She pulls up his X-ray and stares at it like it's a dating profile, while Pio roasts her for being delusional. That night, Mo Yeon finally gets her long-awaited date. She tells Dr. Lee not to disturb her, even though she's clearly running on fumes after a long shift. When she sees Shijin waiting outside the hospital, she panics as she is barefaced, no makeup, in full scrub mode. Shijin thinks it's cute. He says he came early because he likes the anticipation. She jokes about inner beauty, and he immediately offers to take her home so she can change. Busted. At her place, she tries to play it cool, but the water cuts off mid-shower. Shijin notices the note on the fridge about water maintenance. She tries to lie, but he calls her bluff, so she has to rinse with fridge bottles. They finally sit down for a humble meal, stone pot rice, nothing fancy, and the vibe shifts from awkward to flirty. Shijin asks if she's been thinking about him. She says yes and throws the question back. He confesses he's been thinking of her too, but more romantically. They're having a moment, but Mo Yeon insists on sticking to the movie plan. At the theater, she says the best part of a movie is right before it starts. Shijin says this is the best moment of his life. The lights, the anticipation, the pretty doctor beside him, it's all very swoony. They tease each other over age. She playfully calls him Appa, but plot twist, she's older. He's mildly traumatized, but recovering well. Just as they're vibing, Shijin gets another call. Work emergency. Again. He apologizes and Mo Yeon tries to hide her disappointment. He promises to make it up to her, but she brushes it off like, go save the world or whatever. Then she gets a call of her own. Trouble's brewing at the hospital. She storms into the director's office, fuming, and asks why Dr. Kim got the professor role. The director tells her to try again next year, and Kim waltzes in all smug and even assigns Mo Yeon to film a hospital promo show because she is busy with dinner plans. Mo Yeon snaps, throws the assignment on the floor, and calls her disgraceful. Things get physical with hair pulling, and other doctors have to break it up. Later that night, Mo Yeon tries to study for her upcoming on-camera appearance, but she's sobbing so hard she can't concentrate. Meanwhile, back on base, Shijin and Alpha Team receive good news of a 2-week break, but vacation just means being deployed somewhere less dangerous. General Yoon encourages them to spend time with family before shipping out. Dae-young asks Shijin if he told Myungju goodbye, and Shijin brings up Mo Yeon. They're both dodging emotional closure like pros. Shijin shows up at the hospital again, only to find Mo Yeon on TV. She is natural, witty, professional, and confident, and he is clearly impressed. That night, he waits outside her place. The mood is heavier this time. They meet at a cafe to define whatever this is. Shijin apologizes for ghosting again, but Mo Yeon wants more than sorry. She wants the truth. But Shijin's hands are tied as his job is top secret. She points out his injuries mean he has both been shot and has shot others. But she is a doctor who saves lives, and he is a soldier who sometimes takes them. Their values just don't align. Mo Yeon says goodbye, and Shijin lets her walk away, respecting her choice even though it stings. Back at the barracks, Shijin tries to scrub off the heartbreak in a very symbolic shower. Dae-young walks in, and the vibe shifts. They joke about the beautiful women in Urk, avoiding all feelings like true bros. Fast forward 8 months, welcome to Urk. Alpha teams stationed overseas in scorching heat, running shirtless drills like it's a fitness calendar. Shijin defuses a live landmine without waiting for permission. Colonel Park yells at them, and Shijin cheekily blames Dae-young for not stopping him. They are given a punishment of running laps in full gear, and the juniors pretend they'll join. Meanwhile, back in Seoul, Mo Yeon is thriving. She's a medical talk show star, the face of the hospital, and finally a professor. But not because of her surgical skills. Her fame opened all the right doors. She swarmed with VIP patients asking for Viagra and paternity tests. When she brings sandwiches for her team, Dr. Kim tries to throw shade, but Mo Yeon claps back hard. She owns her fame and thanks Kim for handing her the spotlight. Later, Mo Yeon reflects on her date with Shijin, the compliments, the flirty banter, and the way he noticed everything. She hasn't felt that beautiful or confident since. Back in Urk, Ki-bum has joined Alpha Team. When he clumsily cuts Shijin with a shovel, Shijin jokes that, yep, this is how he actually got hurt, roughhousing in the army. Ki-bum writes that on his arm like a tattoo. Shijin and Dae-young go on a supply run and spot a woman buying a gun at a shady bar. She suddenly points it at them. Shijin reacts fast, disarms her, and warns her that it's not a toy, and she storms off. At the hospital, Director Han assigns the Urk medical mission. No one's eager, except Dr. Lee, whose pregnant wife oddly encourages it. The staff jokes about Mo Yeon marrying the director to escape. She's vaguely on board until she arrives at his hotel and realizes dinner means a gross proposition. The guy even suggests he should shower first if she won't, and Mo Yeon clocks him in the face with her purse. She later vents to Dr. Pyo, unsure how to face him at the next meeting. In a plot twist, at the meeting, Han publicly announces Mo Yeon as the leader of the Urk mission. She is stunned, and her colleagues finally realize she's being punished for standing up to a predator. In Urk, the medical team arrives. Director Han calls Mo Yeon, trying to reel her back with some weak excuse, but she is done playing nice. She shuts him down, announces her resignation when she returns, and reminds him of the stunt he pulled. Her colleagues look shocked, and a helicopter lands dramatically. Mo Yeon's scarf flies off as she chases it, but stops when she sees soldiers disembarking. And leading the charge is Captain Yusejin. He walks past her, eyes straight ahead, and she freezes, but he doesn't even look at her. Shijin steps forward and formally introduces himself as the officer responsible for their safety. As Dae-young informs them that their essentials need to be repacked into duffel bags, Shijin notices Mo Yeon's scarf on the ground, quietly returning it to her as they exchange a silent, charged look. At the base, the soldiers greet the medical team with a cheerful chant and flower wreaths. The light mood continues as Mo Yeon and her roommate, Nurse Min-ji, are surprised to find Kim Gi-byum, now a clean-cut soldier instead of the rebellious patient they once knew. Meanwhile, Dr. Song and Nurse Ha bicker like an old couple, revealing their relationship dynamic. Dr. Lee Chi-hoon gets scolded for taking unauthorized photos, and Mo Yeon begins sensing the mysterious and secretive atmosphere surrounding the base. She later sees Shijin stepping out of a truck and walking right past her without a word. But as he enters a building, he glances at her through a reflection, revealing he did notice her. He later gives Dae-young a package from Myung-ju. Inside is a simple note, "I'm present today," signaling that Myung-ju has also arrived in Urk. Myung-ju speaks with her father, General Yoon, about her reassignment, refusing to let go of her feelings for Dae-young, despite her father's preference for Shijin as a more suitable match. Meanwhile, Mo Yeon tells her friend Dr. Pyo back in Seoul that Shijin is leading their security team, but the connection cuts out before she can explain further. While watching children play near the aid tent, Mo Yeon tries to return a ball to one of them. More children appear, hoping for the same, but Shijin intervenes, advising her not to give false hope. As she walks away, Mo Yeon accidentally steps on a landmine. Shijin calmly assesses the situation, tells her not to move, and calls for backup. When Mo Yeon panics and yells at him to help, Shijin shocks her by stepping onto the mine with her. Their argument turns into a brief scuffle, causing them to fall, and she begins crying. Realizing his joke went too far, Shijin apologizes, but Mo Yeon walks off, furious. Later that evening, Shijin tries to make amends. He takes her to face the South Korean flag at sunset, salutes, and tells her he's happy to see her again. That night, the soldiers helped the medical team set up mosquito nets. Mo Yeon lies awake, processing the day's chaos. The next morning, the women are outside washing up, but instead of focusing on chores, they're all distracted by the sight of shirtless soldiers jogging by. Just as Mo Yan enjoys the view, Shijin blocks her line of sight and, realizing what's going on, sends the men back inside. Mo Yan, unimpressed, tells him to move aside. During medical checkups, Shijin volunteers to be Mo Yan's first patient. She draws his blood while slyly enjoying the chance to get back at him for the mind prank. Their banter continues until an explosion rings out across the base. A report comes in about a crash involving a UN vehicle. Shijin and Dae-young respond immediately. At the scene, they find a dead man and a second posing as a UN worker. Suspicious tattoos and a concealed weapon give him away. Shijin hands the man over to local authorities, then heads to HQ to report the incident. On the way back, he and Mo Yan run into each other. She's trying to get Wi-Fi access, and he offers her a ride to a nearby town. During the ride, she reveals she's quitting the hospital to open her own clinic. Their conversation veers into past disappointments, including a man who walked out on her, and Shijin's lingering feelings resurface. At the beach, he offers to take her to the island she wanted to visit. Meanwhile, Dae-young reads a heartfelt note from Myung-ju, who is en route to Urk. Shijin confides in Mo Yan that Dae-young's transfer was orchestrated by General Yoon, not a commanding officer, which complicates things further. Mo Yan asks how Dae-young and Myung-ju met, and Shijin recounts how she helped him during a training exercise. Their love story unfolds in flashbacks, and Dae-young even accompanied her to her ex-girlfriend's wedding just to spite the bride. At the beach, Shijin continues telling the story. Mo Yan asks if Shijin likes Myung-ju, and he casually replies that he does, pointing out that Mo Yan doesn't have the right to ask since she broke up with him. She brushes it off, but it's clear she wants to know. They arrive at the island and walk together to an old shipwreck. Shijin tells her about a local belief. Anyone who takes a rock from the island will eventually return it. He gives one to Mo Yan, and they quietly enjoy the scenery. Meanwhile, Dr. Song makes a pot of bibimbap to boost morale. When Chi-hoon tries to serve himself first, he's called out to learn the importance of team culture. As he grows into his role, he's soon pulled into action when a young boy vomits and collapses. Mo Yan and Shijin return to the base as Chi-hoon rushes the child into the infirmary. Mo Yan takes over and notices blackening on the boy's arm. Suspecting poisoning, she begins emergency treatment. Shijin recognizes the boy and believes this is not a new case but something he has seen before. Eventually, he and Mo Yan align in their diagnosis. Before they can breathe, a Level 2 security alert is issued, and a high-priority aircraft is arriving. The medical team prepares for a VIP patient, an Arab envoy named Mubarat, who collapsed after peace negotiations. Mo Yan receives his file, most of it redacted, and prepares for surgery. The envoy's guards bring medicine from his private doctor, but the medical team refuses it after his vitals crash. Mo Yan determines he's suffering from hemoptysis and internal bleeding and must be operated on immediately. The guards draw weapons, refusing to let Asian doctors perform the surgery. Shijin steps in, asks if Mo Yan can save him, and when she says yes, he raises his weapon. His team backs him up, holding off the envoy's guards to give the doctors room to operate. As the Korean soldiers line up against the armed Arab guards, the doctors move Mubarat into surgery, despite the risk of triggering an international incident. As the operation begins, General Yoon rushes into an emergency Blue House meeting. The president's chief of staff and other officials are torn between national interest and medical ethics. Meanwhile, Colonel Park tries to stop the surgery but fails, even threatening to shoot anyone who continues. Mo Yeon insists they press on. When Chi-hoon panics, overwhelmed by the pressure, she sends him to get more blood, maintaining her composure as the team races against the clock. Inside the OR, Mubarat's vitals drop dangerously, but Mo Yeon and Dr. Song manage to stabilize him. The patient is still unconscious, but the surgery is a success. While the team breathes a sigh of relief, political leaders begin looking for a scapegoat. Dr. Jin is removed from duty and placed under arrest. Dae-young observes quietly, disillusioned by the politics around them. Back at the camp, Minji realizes she may have miscounted the gauze swabs. Nurse Ha insists they check immediately, fearing they may have left one inside the patient. The team's anxiety remains high. Shijin is detained for insubordination. Colonel Park, seething, confronts him in the holding room and mocks him for risking everything over a single patient. But Shijin stands firm, confident that he made the right call. Mo Yan comes to see him and learns the gravity of the situation. Park admits that Shijin could lose his career if the patient doesn't wake up. Dae-young prepares to leave for Korea, handing temporary command to Lieutenant Choi. Before departing, he assures Shijin that he believes in his actions. Shijin remains detained, but he's proud of what they did. As a farewell, Dae-young jokes about meeting up in Korea for drinks, then gives Mo-yeon a private moment with Shijin. In a quiet conversation, Mo-yeon tries to make sense of Shijin's choices, especially his tendency to take risks without explanation. He reminds her of his values, protecting the vulnerable, making hard calls in life-or-death moments, and admits that it's difficult to open up emotionally when he constantly has to shut his feelings down in the field. Mo-yeon hands him a mosquito coil, a small gesture that speaks volumes. Elsewhere in the camp, the young boy Chi-hoon had helped, wakes up and sneaks into Mubarat's room. His innocent touch triggers a miracle. Mubarat wakes up. Relief spreads through the base. The surgery has truly succeeded. The medical and military teams accompany Mubarat to his airlift. As Dae-young prepares to board the transport plane, he sees Myung-ju disembarking. Her smile fades instantly. When she learns he's leaving again, she slaps him in frustration. He tries to justify it, but she breaks down, asking what she's supposed to do now. Dae-young gently promises to return, though he walks away, leaving her devastated. Myung-ju reflects on their past, how they once supported a former lover during her wedding, just to help her move on, and how Myung-ju has always held on. Later, she and Dae-young shared drinks and jokes, revealing how close they had become. She pushed for a public relationship. He only confirmed it during an audit. The tension between duty and emotion still hangs over them. In Seoul, General Yoon receives updates. The Arab officials demand that the surgery be covered up entirely. All records of the facility are to be deleted, but Yoon decides not to punish Shijin. He releases him and wipes the incident clean. Shijin returns to base, greeted by a meal Ki-bum prepared to celebrate his freedom. Mo-yeon hurries in and pulls Shijin aside to scold him. She's angry that he risked everything for her decision and asks if he would always act this recklessly. Shijin apologizes. Before she can continue, she's pulled away, but her heart is clearly invested. Shijin and Mo-yeon visit Mubarat, who thanks them for saving his life. He gives Mo-yeon a golden business card, usable anywhere in the Arab world, and she goes on to ask for another for Shijin. Shijin immediately cashes it in for a car. Mo-yeon is stunned that he used such a powerful favor for something so small. He explains that he used it for time with her, and she finally smiles. They drive out together, and as they sit talking, Mo-yeon opens up about her reasons for becoming a doctor. It wasn't some noble cause. She was good at science, and it paid well. Over time, after facing so much death, she buried herself in work to cope. She never wanted to admit it, but she blames herself for the time Shijin almost died. That guilt created the wall between them. Shijin listens without judgment. He takes her to a funeral for two fallen comrades, former peacekeepers. Among the mourners is Argus, once a teammate of Shijin's, now a known arms dealer. After the ceremony, Mo-yeon questions Shijin about it, but he avoids going into details. Back at the base, Mo-yeon learns Shijin is headed to a disciplinary hearing after all. Though she thought it was resolved, he is still being punished for disobeying orders. The sentence? No promotion and a loss of 3 months' salary. Myung-ju hears the news and teases Shijin that she might outrank him soon. He also tells her that he knows where Dae-young is. As they talk, Shijin sees Mo-yeon heading toward Colonel Park and quickly intercepts her. She argues on his behalf, but Park explains the punishment is for insubordination, something only Shijin can answer for. Shijin drives Mo-yeon out to talk. He tells her that his actions weren't because of love, but because of duty. Everything he does is for his country. He doesn't want her caught in military affairs. Mo-yeon, hurt, apologizes for caring. She drives off in tears. Shijin later chats with Dae-young, who jokes about his punishment and losing money over a woman. The call brings some levity. Shijin retrieves a stash of wine from the mess hall and sets up on the rooftop, hoping Mo-yeon will join him. She does. They drink together, straight from the bottle. The tension eases. Mo-yeon admits she avoided the movie that Shijin once wanted to take her to because it reminded her of him. She says next time, she'll pick a less popular film. As they talk, Shijin leans in and kisses her. It is clear their feelings are simmering beneath the surface, but Mo-yeon breaks the moment, abruptly saying goodnight. Both return to their rooms in silent reflection. Meanwhile, Yu-hwa wakes to find Daniel back after a long absence. She's upset and questions him about Chen Jiang, who Daniel reveals has returned to his homeland, leaving Yu-hwa visibly shaken. Construction begins on the Haesung-sponsored power plant. Team leader Go oversees the project, while Jin Young-soo, claiming to represent the Electric Commission, introduces himself as a co-supervisor, though no one takes him seriously. Elsewhere, Chi-hoon calls Mo-yeon with good news that the lead poisoned boy has recovered, but he's gone missing. Chi-hoon, eager to make amends, wants to search for the boy, but Mo-yeon insists he stay and focus on the energy project. She chooses to go with Shujin to find the child herself. Their drive is tense. Mo-yeon is cold, keeping emotional distance after the night before. Shijin tries to explain his actions, but Mo-yeon sets firm boundaries. They eventually find the boy, and Mo-yeon delivers medication to his home, using drawings to teach the family how to use it. She tells Shijin not to do anything else that might leave a lasting impression, making it clear she's protecting her heart. At the base, Myung-ju is impressed by the Korean-funded supplies and learns from Colonel Park that major corporations are supporting the military. She later takes a call from Dae-young. Their banter is playful, but shows their closeness, with Dae-young teasing her about her uniform, prompting her to flirt back before he jokes about placing her in the color guard unit. Shijin and Mo-yeon visit a local bar for a meal. When Mo-yeon asks why he became a soldier, Shijin speaks of duty, originally out of patriotism, but now more to protect the vulnerable. He then asks if their relationship would be easier if he were a rich heir. Mo-yeon dismisses the idea, calling it ridiculous. As they leave, Shijin spots a suspicious man and sends Mo-yeon ahead to Daniel's shop. There, Mo-yeon meets Daniel, who reveals he's also a doctor and knows Shijin well. Mo-yeon starts piecing together Shijin's dangerous world, especially after hearing gunshots in the distance. Meanwhile, Shijin confronts the man, only to be met by Argus, his former comrade-turned-mercenary. Argus has abandoned ideals for profit, which disgusts Shijin. Driving back, Mo-yeon loses control of her car and ends up teetering on a cliff's edge. In a panic, she calls her mom to leave a goodbye message. Shijin arrives, climbs into the car, calms her, and releases the brakes. The car plunges into the ocean. He saves her, performs CPR, and after she revives, she scolds him for risking everything. He just smiles, happy she's safe. At the base, Shijin lends her his jacket, joking about how he didn't offer it earlier since they were alone then, but now they're in public. Meanwhile, Argus meets with manager Go, who hands him diamonds. Argus questions his expendability, but Go plays diplomatic. At the power plant, the team leader grows frustrated with his team, and Go casually lies about a missing driver while sporting blood on his sock. Shijin brings Mo-yeon instant coffee and jokes about her bar reopening. They share teasing banter, but Mo-yeon grows serious when asking about Shujin's past missions. He confirms the painful truth. His partner's father died during a mission involving Argus. She asks if the gunshot she heard earlier was him, but Shujin brushes it off. Their chemistry softens into laughter until the topic shifts to the ruined car, which Shijin has arranged to be retrieved from the ocean. Daniel is stunned by the waterlogged car. Mo-yeon offers to pay, but Daniel declines, joking that the car met a tragic end after being filled with premium fuel. Shijin teaches her how to use a walkie-talkie, calling himself Big Boss and naming her Pretty Girl. The moment is playful, with a hint of growing closeness. Myung-ju makes a dramatic entrance, declaring she's there to marry Shijin and revealing she's been officially assigned as their medic support. Shijin calls her out for pulling strings, but she brushes it off, unfazed by the challenges ahead. As Mo-yeon walks off, Myung-ju tries to be civil, but Mo-yeon shuts her down coldly. Shijin later reveals that Myung-ju's father asked him to take care of her, code for making her want to quit and return home. She also finds out that Shijin's return was moved up for his father's retirement, showing they both come from military families. Shijin tells her to move on, but she jokes she might as well marry him, throwing him off balance again. When Shijin tries calling Dae-young to prove he always picks up, no one answers. Meanwhile, Dae-young is in Korea, deep in special forces training, testing his men's obedience under pressure. General Yoon orders him to find candidates for Alpha Team and hints at bringing Shijin back into the fold. The general questions Dae-young about his transfer, and though Dae-young agrees it was unfair, he refuses to challenge it. Both men want what's best for Myung-ju. Dae-young reflects on their relationship and her regrets, but still ignores her call. At the base, Chi-hoon awkwardly asks Myung-ju if army doctors get guns. She thinks he's flirting, but he shuts her down, calling her not that pretty. Mo-yeon gets a cheeky lunch request over a walkie-talkie from someone calling her pretty girl, but freezes when Shujin appears. Embarrassed, she brushes him off. Dr. Song tries to get answers from Nurse Ha about Shujin and Mo Yan's vibe, but her sarcasm drives him off. Daniel improvises equipment repairs, and Chi-hoon and Dr. Song accidentally broadcast a silly conversation over the medical channel. Shujin hears it while packing, coming across the island rock. Mo Yan lightens the mood by singing over the walkie-talkie, unknowingly reaching Shujin. The next day, a farewell party reveals that Shujin is returning to Korea. Mo Yan is hurt that he didn't tell her sooner. That night, she almost reaches out via walkie-talkie but doesn't. Just then, Shujin calls out for her on the radio. When they finally talk, he says he meant to tell her at lunch. She insists he should have tried harder. He jokes that her anger might benefit him, but the mood shifts as he asks whether she's still unsure about her feelings. He finally brings up the kiss, asking if she wants an apology or a confession. Mo Yan says nothing, just stares in silence. Shujin asks Mo Yan what she expects from him. She admits she finds him both attractive and dangerous, a mix that frightens her, and she needs time to sort out her feelings. Since he is leaving again, she cannot reasonably ask him to stay, so she tells him she does not like him at this moment. She then instructs him to apologize, which he does before saluting and walking away. That night, Mo Yan lights a candle while Shujin studies his dog tags, both lost in thought over their growing yet unresolved bond. At dawn, Mo Yan searches the grounds for Shujin but learns from Ki-bum that the captain departed overnight. Disappointed, she reflects on his cool exit. Back in Korea, Shujin reunites with his father, a soon-to-retire general. Father and son take an official portrait together, placing a framed photo of Shujin's late mother in the shot. On base, Dae-young drills Alpha Team recruits. Anyone who fails the zipline drill must carry him on their shoulders. Shujin returns by rappelling smoothly down the wall, then later joins Dae-young for drinks. Former trainees recognize Dae-young and provoke a chase. The two senior soldiers vault from the restaurant's balcony, dodge the younger troops, and escape through the streets before collapsing in laughter among the bushes. Over soju, they commiserate about love. Shujin feels repeatedly dumped whenever he goes on leave, and Dae-young likens their romantic pain to needles sharpened by training. Dae-young answers a rare call from Myung-ju. She reports she is healthy in Urk, protected by her uniform, but missing him intensely. A flashback shows the pair sharing shy kisses and warm hugs when they first dated openly. Meanwhile, in Urk, Mo Yan texts her friend Jisoo that she regrets not accepting Shujin's apology with a hug. She fears he will now ignore her. While on a Seoul bus bearing Mo Yan's hospital advertisement, Shujin ponders her image, then later plays pool with Dae-young, both unknowingly wearing identical outfits before sending Myung-ju photos of Dae-young that she treasures. Mo Yan and Chi-hoon continue treating village children. The boy who survived lead poisoning thanks them with a drawing that depicts Mo Yan beside Shujin, reminding her of the captain's playful lessons for the kids. Alone at camp, Shujin inspects the stone Mo Yan gave him from the island and remembers her wish that he return it, a legend stating the taker must come back. Mo Yan stands on a cliff overlooking the island, sensing she may have let her chance slip away. Daniel arrives in the repaired truck, refuses payment, and asks instead for a small charity donation. Elsewhere, Yehua notices animals scattering as birds and butterflies flee. Back at the medical facility, Myung-ju bluntly asks Mo Yan if she likes Shujin. Mo Yan's silence confirms it. Myung-ju phones Shujin, teasing him about titles and warning him that Mo Yan is annoyed, yet still beautiful. Shujin ends the call smiling, just as Mo Yan is hauled away for a departure photo with her team. Moments later, a violent earthquake strikes Urk. At the power plant site, heavy machinery buckles, cranes topple, and a sinkhole swallows workers. Buildings collapse, an entire bridge fractures. In the base kitchen, a refrigerator pins Ki-bum medical tents shutter. Windows explode. The team leader is buried under rubble while manager Go secretly shields a bag of smuggled diamonds before the quake throws the entire office into chaos. News of the 6.7 magnitude earthquake reaches Korea. General Yoon orders an immediate deployment to Urk and specifically requests Shujin and Dae-young. Mo Yun's group, diverted mid-flight, returns to base to regroup with the unharmed staff, where Myung-ju gets the information that the construction site has mass casualties. The medical team and soldiers race there, and Mo Yeon sets up triage, explaining the color tag system for prioritizing patients. She snaps the heels off her sandals for mobility, then assigns treatments while explosions echo through the wreckage. Manager Go tries to divert soldiers to his ruined office, claiming it is critical, but they ignore him to search for survivors. Beneath debris, team leader Go signals for help beside a skewered coworker. In triage, Chi-hoon panics over a dying patient until Mo-yeon changes the tag to black and calmly records the time of death. Dr. Song slaps Chi-hoon back to composure, and Mo-yeon consoles him before he completes the pronouncement. All night, the combined teams dig, cut, and lift rubble. Mo-yeon tends the wounded despite her own bleeding feet until one grateful patient offers her a pair of battered boots. Ki-bum, shoulder bandaged, updates the rising death toll. At dawn, a helicopter roars overhead, and Alpha Team fast ropes into the disaster zone. Shijin strides through dust and smoke, saluted by troops before assuming command. He orders no soldier to become a casualty that would divert medical attention from civilians. Myung-ju runs to Dae-young. She tells him to stay safe, and he salutes her in acknowledgement. Mo-yeon crouches to tie her laces. Shijin kneels to finish the knot for her. They rise and exchange a brief, charged look. Shujin admits he regrets leaving without a proper farewell and asks her to promise she will stay alive. Mo-yeon gives the same promise. He offers a small smile, then turns to lead the rescue effort as Mo-yeon hurries back to the injured, both determined to protect lives in the devastated valley. At first light, the rescuers still hear faint taps beneath the concrete. Team leader Go lies trapped beside a worker skewered by a steel beam. Heavy equipment is too dangerous, so Shijin devises a stopgap. One real hydraulic lift, and 3 improvised water bag jacks to raise the slab just long enough for entry. While the rig is being built, Manager Jin tries to divert troops to his collapsed office, hoping to retrieve hidden documents and diamonds, but he is removed from the scene. Daniel brings field radios, reports entire villages destroyed, and receives Mo-yeon's approval to operate on an injured man at the base clinic. Ye-hwa heads to the plant with supplies. As the hydraulic array groans upward, Shijin crawls inside the void to guide out mobile survivors. One confirms team leader Go is still pinned deeper below. Outside, Myung-ju loses a patient to shock until Mo-yeon's compressions restart a pulse. Internal bleeding demands immediate surgery on site. Myung-ju lists the risks, yet Mo-yeon proceeds, turning the rubble-strewn floor into an operating table. Ki-bum donates AB blood, thrilled to help, while Chi-hoon sets a pregnant woman's fractured leg without anesthesia when she refuses the injection. A journalist seeking a story is commandeered by Dr. Song, who conducts his interview en route to emergency surgery. Calls for specific blood types crackle over the radios as volunteers queue to donate. Inside the collapse, Shijin shows Mo-yeon the grim dilemma. Lifting the concrete will rip the beam through the impaled worker. Cutting the beam will drop the slab onto team leader Go. Shijin asks Mo-yeon to choose which patient to save, the one with the higher chance of survival. As a doctor, it's Mo-yeon's responsibility to make this tough decision. Overwhelmed, she looks distraught as the screen splits to show the 2 trapped patients. Shijin gives her 10 minutes to decide and instructs Sergeant Choi to confirm that this difficult situation is indeed a Solomon's choice. Meanwhile, a manager confronts Shijin, stressing the critical importance of some documents in the office that concern diplomatic relations between URK and South Korea. He insists that Shijin save the patient with the best survival odds and then focus on retrieving the documents. Urging him to prioritize national interests as a soldier, the manager coldly remarks that in times like these, losing 1 or 2 lives shouldn't matter. Shijin snaps at the manager, stating that a soldier must protect people, no matter who they are. Even someone like the manager will be saved if he's in danger. When the manager warns Shijin that he's making a mistake, Shijin tells him to leave. Suddenly, a beam falls, and Shijin shields the manager, taking the hit himself. After ensuring the manager is unharmed, Shijin walks away, but the manager notices blood on his hand, coming from a wound on Shijin's shoulder. Meanwhile, Mo-yeon tends to team leader Go, who realizes only one of them can be saved. He calmly tells her he has 3 children and has spent 30 years working abroad in construction. Jokingly, he says it's not so bad lying there, staring at the sky without having to work. He's proud of what he's achieved, sending his kids to college with the money he earned. When the other injured worker asks for more anesthesia, Mo-yeon gently explains he can't have more as he'll be in surgery soon. He asks if he'll survive, and she responds with a reassuring smile. Meanwhile, Myung-ju operates on a patient with Ki-bum assisting by providing AB blood. He proudly asks Myung-ju to tell Dae-young about his contribution. Ye-hwa collects blood donations from reporters and volunteers, getting irritated when a reporter prefers to interview Daniel for his charm and camera presence. Dae-young, on a rescue mission, falls through unstable ground, his fall broadcast over the walkie-talkie. Ki-bum panics. But Myung-ju remains focused on her surgery and instructs him not to leave. Dae-young radios back, assuring him only landed on sand. Myung-ju is visibly relieved. Mo-yeon tells Soo-jin her decision. Team leader Go's leg is atrophied, and there's a risk of septic shock even if he's rescued, whereas the other worker isn't bleeding now but will likely bleed out once the beam pinning him is removed. Unsure, she asks Soo-jin what he would do based on his experience. Soo-jin responds coldly, reminding her that she's already made a medical judgment and that in the field there's no time for indecision. He urges her to act like a regular doctor capable of making split-second decisions. Fighting back tears, Mo-yeon tells Soo-jin whom she has chosen to save first. Soon, the beam victim is evacuated to Hae-sung's theater, where Mo-yeon and Dr. Song begin the life-saving procedure. When the slab is finally shifted, Soo-jin retrieves Go's wallet, sees his family photo, places it back in his hand, and salutes as the body bag is closed. Reinforcements under Colonel Park arrive to relieve the exhausted team. Soldiers and medics return to base, their rations supplemented by sandwiches from the local bar owner. Soo-jin commends the men for 48 hours of non-stop duty and orders rest before the next sortie. At the clinic, Myung-ju quietly scrubs while Dae-young washes nearby. She asks if he came of his own will or by her father's command. He answers that the most dangerous place needs the best soldiers. She pulls him into a silent embrace and weeps. Dr. Song hands Nurse Ha his password in case he dies. She bluntly tells him to delete the file now. The tally stands: 18 dead, 41 injured. Mo-yeon returns a borrowed pair of boots to a patient and lights a memorial candle. Overcome by memories of the lost, she breaks down amid the wreckage. Soo-jin, himself wounded while shielding the manager from a falling beam, watches her silently, then allows her to suture his shoulder. She states she is managing. He says he heard the unspoken worry behind her words. He apologizes for earlier harshness, acknowledges the weight of death she faces as a surgeon, and confesses he misses her constantly despite work, fatigue, or drink. She listens in silence. The distant rumble of continuing rescue work underscoring a moment of hard-won closeness amid devastation. Soo-jin prepares to leave for the base and offers to drive her, but Mo-yeon asks to come along so she can make a call. At the base, Mo-yeon calls team leader Go's wife and relays his final words. He tells her he feels at peace, having provided for their family and paid for the children's education. He says he knows she'll now spend more time looking at his photo than she ever did seeing him in person, and he urges her not to mourn for too long and to move on with her life. Nearby, Nurse Ha and Dr. Song discuss a patient whose hand was amputated during surgery. Dr. Song hands her the man's wedding ring, which she threads onto a necklace and returns to him. Yehua reminds Daniel of the promise to do an interview, but he jokes that his face is reserved for his wife. The medical team walks by, and Chi-hoon recognizes Daniel as a wealthy half-Korean volunteer from Canada. Min-ji is impressed, while Dr. Song scoffs at the choice. Mo-yeon steps outside, tearful after the call. Soo-jin follows and tells her to look up at the stars. She glances up and sees a sky full of stars, despite the ruins around them. She thanks him for returning and says that without him, she might have run away. Soo-jin jokes that they should run away together. Elsewhere, Argus beats the manager for failing to retrieve the diamonds. The manager pleads, saying the diamonds are still trapped under the rubble, and Argus gives him until the next night. In the collapsed office area, a worker named Min Jae is still alive, and remembers team leader Go's advice about wearing a safety helmet. At the site, soldiers begin tearing down the solar tower to access the buried office. The manager watches with satisfaction, but Dae-young reminds him that the focus is on rescuing the missing people. When the manager insists they're likely dead, Dae-young says only medical personnel can make that call and continues the search. Chi-hoon joins the effort, but is visibly tense. He discovers Min Jae alive under a glass panel, but when an aftershock hits, a rock strikes his shoulder, forcing him to retreat. He informs Sergeant Choi about the survivor, then stumbles away, shaken. Dae-young takes over the rescue, though Myung-ju notices his injured hand. He continues regardless. Mo-yeon and Soo-jin arrive as Myung-ju confirms there's a survivor inside. Soo-jin gears up to assist, and Mo-yeon gives him instructions. He jokes about her translations and heads in. Soo-jin and Dae-young reach Min Jae, who is alert and asking for food. They begin freeing his leg, and Soo-jin asks how he ended up there. Min Jae explains he crawled through the rubble from the other side. Mo Yan gives Shijin directions for administering medication, but Min-jae has an allergic reaction. Dae-young rushes back with alternative medicine. Suddenly, the ground trembles again. The manager has taken control of a crane and is digging on his own. The site shakes and debris falls. Shijin shields Min-jae. Dae-young finds out what happened and has the manager pulled out and restrained. He threatens him and heads back inside. Inside, Min-jae panics when Shijin lies motionless. But Shijin soon responds. The slab has shifted off Min-jae's leg, but the way out is now blocked, and they lose radio contact. Shijin keeps Min-jae calm, writes his name and vitals on his arm, and encourages him to stay hopeful. Dae-young eventually reaches them and digs them out. Min-jae is rescued and taken out on a stretcher. Mo Yan sees the writing on his arm and realizes that Shijin treated him. Shijin emerges, lies down on a stretcher, and says he's the next patient. Mo Yan prepares to leave, but he grabs her arm, jokingly pointing out that he let Dae-young go first. Myung-ju takes over Min-jae's treatment so Mo Yan can stay with Shijin. As Mo Yan tends to his wounds, she tells Shijin she doesn't appreciate how lightly he takes such dangerous situations. He says he trusted her to take care of him if things went wrong. When she asks why he takes such risks, he answers that he's confident and never plans to die. Ki-bum enters to inform them that Colonel Park has arrived. Mo Yan won't let Shijin leave, asking the colonel to come to them instead. Shijin panics at the thought of being punished again. Colonel Park arrives and asks if Shijin is truly injured. Mo Yan insists that he is. The colonel informs them that a plane is coming to pick up the medical team and instructs Mo Yan to prepare a departure list. The manager bursts in to file a complaint about Dae-young punching him, but Colonel Park counters with charges of interference and attempted murder. He later punishes the soldiers with laps. As they run, Myung-ju tells Dae-young he should have hit harder. Shijin leaves the formation to speak to Mo Yan. She gives him his medicine and confirms she's leaving with the team. Mo Yan gathers everyone and tells them the mission is over. They can choose to stay or leave. Nurses Ha and Min-ji give up their seats for injured patients. Dr. Song eventually agrees to stay, saying to save a seat for his soul. Mo Yan asks about Chi-hoon, who is visiting Min-jae. Min-jae confronts him about abandoning him, and Chi-hoon is left speechless. Mo Yan later finds Chi-hoon and tells him that he discovered Min-jae first and has done enough. She adds his name to the departure list and reminds him he has a wife waiting at home. Min-jae asks for team leader Go and finds his name on the list of the deceased. He breaks down, mourning the man who always believed a helmet would save lives. Chi-hoon watches in silence. At the site, Shijin gives the final report. All missing persons have been accounted for. The manager tries to reclaim control of the site, but another aftershock hits. Shijin asks for a moment of silence for the victims. Later, Shijin and Dae-young talk briefly. Myung-ju appears with a call from her father, General Yoon, but quickly ends the call when she sees Dae-young. He becomes suspicious when Shijin says the call was for a potential future son-in-law. Shijin leaves, telling Dae-young to sort things out. Daniel fixes the base's speakers. Mo Yan connects her phone and plays music, bringing a calm moment to the base. Myung-ju teases Dae-young about the romantic music, but he walks away. Shijin joins Daniel and gives him a thumbs up. Just then, a recording from Mo Yan's phone begins to play, the message she recorded on the cliff. In it, she wonders why Shijin hasn't come to save her and admits her feelings for him. She runs through the base, desperate to stop it from playing as everyone listens. Realizing what's happening, Mo Yan races to the broadcast room to stop it, but by the time she gets there, it's already too late. She grabs her phone and rushes out, humiliated, while Shijin smiles, clearly amused. Outside, he meets her at the entrance after jumping out a window to get there first. She tries to deny it was her voice in the recording and even says the phone isn't hers, but Shijin doesn't let it slide. He teases her and presses for a real confession, asking why she didn't say how she felt sooner, and why she's now pretending none of it happened. Eventually, she asks him to let go of her arm, and the moment he does, she darts away, avoiding giving him the satisfaction of hearing her say it out loud again. Later, Dr. Song and Nurse Ha talk about how love seems to bloom in the middle of chaos. The soldiers gossip about Shijin and Mo Yan too. Some are already joking about calling her sister-in-law, while others wonder why a successful woman like her would fall for a soldier. Mo Yan, meanwhile, tries to stay focused as she reviews the medical team's departure schedule, but her team keeps poking fun at her, curious about her relationship with Shijin, and whether her confession means they're officially together. Ji-hoon struggles with guilt as he treats Min-jae, the worker he was forced to abandon temporarily during the rescue. Min-jae no longer trusts him and asks for another doctor. Dr. Song notices Ji-hoon's unease but doesn't replace him. Ji-hoon tries to stay professional, but the tension is clear. Mo-yeon runs into Myung-ju, who picks up on her flustered state and watches with interest as Mo-yeon quietly sneaks around, trying to avoid Shijin. The two women have a heartfelt conversation, with Mo-yeon asking if Myung-ju is afraid to love someone who could die at any time. Myung-ju says she is more afraid of not having him at all, and that being with Dae-young is what keeps her strong. Shijin later sits alone, deep in thought, until Myung-ju approaches. She mentions that both he and Mo-yeon asked her the same question about loving a soldier. She jokes with him briefly before walking away and running into Dae-young. She's upset that he can't even manage a little affection after dinner, like holding her hand. Dae-young stays quiet, and Myung-ju hands the rock Shijin had been holding to him, suggesting he throw it at Dae-young instead. Mo-yeon tries to find a quiet spot, but runs into Shijin again. She makes up a meeting as an excuse, but Shijin offers to drive her there, reminding her that he doesn't want her stranded on cliffs again. He tells her to stop avoiding him and not be embarrassed about what he heard. He admits his feelings for her are even stronger than hers for him, and compliments her before walking off, promising to meet her at the gate in 10 minutes. Myung-ju finds Dae-young sitting at the same spot and mistakenly thinks Mo-yeon had just been there with him. Elsewhere, Ye-hwa treats the soldiers with acupuncture, revealing that she learned the skill from her father, not through formal training. Ki-bum is studying hard, and Ye-hwa jokes about her ancient-sounding accent when he asks where she's from. After meeting with UN officials, Shijin takes Mo-yeon on a drive. She notices how cheerful everyone seems despite their jobs, and Shijin explains that humor helps them survive the weight of their missions. When she asks if he's afraid of his dangerous work, he says it's no scarier than falling in love. Their conversation shifts to light teasing until their vehicle suddenly hits rough ground. Shijin realizes they've entered a minefield, possibly disturbed by the recent earthquakes. With no signal on his radio, he marks buried mines using flags, and Mo-yeon's purse to carry markers. He carefully guides her through, step by step. They make it through safely, and Mo-yeon collapses to the ground, overwhelmed. Shijin praises her for staying strong. They joke about how their time together always turns into action scenes instead of romance. He borrows her lipstick to write a warning sign about the minefield, and she adds a skull drawing for effect. As they continue walking, Shijin suggests they hold hands since they're walking for hours. She refuses, and they go back and forth playfully until a passing truck finally picks them up. While riding in the back of the truck, Mo-yeon shares Myung-ju's answer to her earlier question. Shijin then asks if she'll be leaving with the rest of the medical team. She says no, she's staying for him. She wonders aloud if that counts as her real confession, and when he says he's still waiting for an apology, she leans in and kisses him. Then she kisses him again. Back at the base, they go their separate ways. Both are covered in hay from the truck ride, something Dr. Song and Nurse Ha immediately notice. Dr. Song, clearly envious, imagines the couple's time together and sighs. Meanwhile, Argus catches the construction manager, demanding the diamonds. The manager hands over a locked box, claiming the lock is broken. Argus takes it, but threatens the manager anyway. Later, it's revealed that the diamonds were not inside. Furious, Argus orders his men to hunt the manager down. At the medical center, the manager demands to be flown to Seoul due to an injury, but Myung-ju and Dae-young don't buy it. Dae-young throws him out and warns him not to cause more problems. Ji-hoon gives up his seat on the flight to Seoul, and the manager boards the bus. A flashback reveals he swallowed the diamonds before handing over the empty box. Ji-hoon continues isolating himself, visibly shaken. Dr. Song finds him hiding and tries to talk to him. Ji-hoon avoids answering directly about what happened with Min-jae, but says if he can't fix things himself, he'll ask for help. At the airport, the manager stays hidden as Argus's men search for him. Argus, still angry, calls for a different type of delivery, a red rose. Shijin watches Mo-yeon from a distance through his rifle scope as she washes her face. He grins to himself, unable to look away. Dae-young approaches and notices that while the rifle may be clean, the shooter clearly needs checking. Suddenly, they get word that Yellow Tiger, General Yoon, is arriving for an inspection. Everyone scrambles to prepare, but the inspection is cancelled when General Yoon is called to a UN meeting. Instead, He summons Shijin, Dae-young, Myung-ju, and Mo Yeon to the airport. Mo Yeon asks how she should address the general, and Shijin jokingly says, "Soldier a juicy." When General Yoon arrives, Mo Yeon greets him with a hand over her heart. In his office, he thanks her for her work and dismisses her. He then tells Shijin he's no longer being considered as a future son-in-law. Outside, Shijin tells Mo Yeon, and she's relieved. Myung-ju is next. When General Yoon asks if she's happy to see Dae-young again, she says yes, and asks her father to stop making things difficult. Dae-young firmly tells the general that his feelings haven't changed, and he will never let her go again. General Yoon finally gives them his blessing, but only if Dae-young quits the military and builds a civilian life. Later, while refueling the car, Shijin tells Mo Yeon he never fell for someone like Myung-ju because he doesn't choose someone based on background. Mo Yeon feels a bit jealous, and Shijin kisses her to ease her worries. At the gas station, they come across a boy caught stealing medicine. Mo Yeon thinks he might have measles and insists on going with him to make sure he's treated. They drive him back to his village. Myung-ju, hearing her father's blessing, suspects something is wrong with him and hurries off, while Dae-young, left behind, looks worried. At the village, Shijin and Mo Yeon notice something isn't right. A girl in red speaks English and tells them the children are sick, and the village is used for trafficking. She offers to help in exchange for being taken away. Back at the base, the soldiers notice Shijin's GPS signal has gone dead. Daniel tells Dae-young the village is a trafficking base. Shijin overhears this as Argus arrives. He ends the call and steps in front of Mo Yeon protectively. Argus pretends to be friendly, but the girl in red shoots him, then hands the gun to Shijin. She pleads with Mo Yeon not to save him. Mo Yeon doesn't offer help, and Shijin tells her to focus on saving lives. He'll handle the rest. Mo Yeon performs the surgery, raw and without anesthesia, while Shijin holds the line with Argus's goons. They manage to stabilize Argus, but Mo Yeon won't let him leave with the girl. Shijin makes it clear there's no friendship left between him and Argus. The children are rescued by Korean soldiers and taken to safety. Later, Mo Yeon's reminded of Shijin's words, "She's the doctor. He's the one who kills if needed." Still shaken, the little girl lashes out at Mo Yeon for saving Argus. Mo Yeon tries to comfort her, but the girl's distrust of adults and soldiers runs deep. Meanwhile, in Seoul, Chi-hoon's wife is suspicious when he doesn't return despite being on the flight manifest. Turns out, he gave up his seat for someone else. The medical team back in Urk deals with a measles outbreak. Myung-ju and Mo Yeon step up, with Myung-ju trying to exclude Mo Yeon from the fieldwork. But Mo Yeon insists on joining the vaccination mission, showing her growing confidence and resilience. On the drive to the village, Dae-young questions whether a different career would give him and Myung-ju more time together. But she only wants soldier Dae-young. At the village, they find it abandoned, raising new questions about the children's whereabouts. Shijin updates General Yoon on Argus's new criminal activities. General Yoon orders the Korean forces to back off, leaving Shijin frustrated but obedient. Mo Yeon later finds Shijin lost in thought. She offers him a cup of coffee and a quiet moment. Their bond deepens in the calm after the storm, until Mo Yeon rushes off to retrieve a mysterious package. Cue chaos. Mo Yeon asks Dae-young to pick up a delivery from a girl named Shin Ji-yeon. The name alone sends both Shijin and Dae-young sprinting like panicked schoolboys. Myung-ju hears it too and charges in, only to discover a suspicious care package, complete with a photo of Dae-young and Shijin dining with two pretty flight attendants. Both women are furious. Shijin and Dae-young scramble to explain, failing miserably as they contradict each other. The soldiers, of course, are gleefully eavesdropping and betting on how deep the guys will dig their graves. Afterward, Mo Yeon and Shijin have their own moment of tension. She doesn't quite buy his story about the innocent tea meeting, but the arrival of a call from Ji-soo shifts the mood. Meanwhile, Chi-hoon is still with Min-jae, who lashes out at him for running away during the quake. Chi-hoon breaks down and confesses his guilt, begging for forgiveness. But Min-jae isn't ready to hand it out so easily. Things take a darker turn when the young girl steals all the anesthesia meds. She contacts someone named Tommy, planning to sell the drugs and flee. Shijin and Mo Yeon track her down to a warehouse, where they face armed men. Shijin jumps into action, disarming the gang and rescuing the girl just in time as Mo Yeon drives in to save them. But their getaway car breaks down again. Shijin dryly notes that she's now wrecked 3. Back on base, Dae-young is clearing landmines when Myung-ju shows up unannounced. Despite being mad, she can't resist putting sunscreen on his face. He pulls her close, but before they can kiss, Shujin's voice interrupts on the radio. Later, Mo-yeon offers to fund the girl's education, even if it's just a loan. Shujin watches her with admiration, joking that she should stop being so attractive. He's already fully smitten. They share a light-hearted moment over late-night ramyun, complete with night vision goggles after the lights go out. Elsewhere, the manager, still on the run with the swallowed diamonds, gets arrested at customs while trying to leave Urk with a fake passport. Min-jae reveals he saw the manager hiding the diamonds and acting suspiciously before the earthquake. Argus captures the manager, but before he can cut him open to retrieve the diamonds, Shujin's team storms in and rescues him. At the hospital, the manager denies everything until an X-ray proves he's still carrying the diamonds. But there's a bigger problem. He's infected with a dangerous, possibly fatal virus. Mo-yeon and Myung-ju operate on him and get exposed to his blood. A quarantine is set up, and only one of them tests positive. When the results arrive, Shujin and Dae-young rush back. Dae-young storms into the quarantined OR and hugs Myung-ju tightly, refusing to let go. She tries to push him away, but eventually realizes she is the one who tested positive. Despite Myung-ju begging him to leave, Dae-young refuses to abandon her and stays by her side until she orders him out, her military instincts kicking in. She's placed into isolation with the manager. And Mo-yeon briefs Dae-young on the M3 virus. It's worse than Ebola and has no known cure, but youth and strong immunity offer some hope. As blood testing and quarantine zones ramp up, Shujin reassures the soldiers that their mission doesn't pause for a virus. Dae-young, now in a storage room quarantine, gets a walkie-talkie from Shujin and uses it to stay in touch with Myung-ju. Their banter masks the pain. They're scared, they miss each other, and it shows. Dr. Song and Nurse Ha's flirtation continues from behind isolation barriers, with her admiring his drawings and promising to return once the chaos dies down. Mo-yeon confirms with Daniel that vaccines are en route, and the UN is on the hunt for anyone exposed to the manager. Colonel Park wants to send the infected to the US, but Shujin pushes back, refusing to treat people like cargo when a full-blown outbreak is possible. Meanwhile in Seoul, panic spreads. The hospital director is sweating bullets, but it's Chi-hoon's mother who causes a scene, demanding her son be brought home. Money talks, and she's threatening to pull the plug on funding. Ji-soo and Dr. Song team up remotely to research the M3 virus, and Min-jae and Ki-bum help distribute care packages while marveling at the value of those diamonds. The virus may be deadly, but greed has its own infection. Relief comes with news of vaccine arrival. Shujin and Mo-yeon share a flirt-filled chat, exchanging blood types and playful jabs before getting serious. They both want this nightmare over so they can finally share a real moment. Mo-yeon later discovers a measles outbreak among local children, but before they can act, the power cuts out. Chaos hits when the manager's ventilator shuts down, and he goes into cardiac arrest. Chi-hoon, despite being bitten, performs CPR and saves him, earning praise and finally feeling like a real doctor. Emotional and proud, Chi-hoon calls his fiancée, who scolds him, but he showers her with love, melting her anger. Good news arrives. All tests are negative. Dae-young is out of quarantine and rushes to Myung-ju's side, while Shujin reports that the outbreak has been contained. Just as things begin to calm, trouble walks through the dining hall doors. Argus, the sleazy ex-ally, shows up with locals pretending to need tests. He claims he's virus-free and offers vaccines as gifts in exchange for seeing the manager. Shujin isn't buying it and tells him to get lost. Guns are drawn, tension crackles, but Argus backs down, dropping hints that he knows way more than he should. Dr. Song gets cleared, just a cold, not the plague, and leaves quarantine with Nurse Ha waiting. He slips her a note. There's important research related to Mo-yeon that he wants to pursue. They find a promising treatment used in West Africa and reach out to Daniel to get it. While they wait, Myung-ju, growing weaker, calls her father. She confesses regret and begs him not to pressure Dae-young into changing his career. After the call, she collapses. The doctors scramble. She's put in an ice bath as they fight to bring down her fever. Hope comes in the form of a new experimental drug, until word hits that Daniel's been hijacked. Argus wants a trade, medicine for diamonds. Shujin and Dae-young make the deal, but Dae-young doesn't hold back. One of Argus's men gets a beating. As the medicine finally arrives, Myung-ju remains on the edge. Mo Yan is dragged into another crisis when a young girl is arrested for stealing medicine. Mo Yan defends her, but now she's under suspicion for aiding the black market. Meanwhile, Ye Hua prepares traditional medicine, hoping to boost Myungju's chances. With proper meds finally available, treatment begins. Dae-young stays by Myungju's side as her fever breaks and carries her gently back to bed. But while Shijin looks for Mo Yan, he discovers the girl who stole the medicine tied up and shot in the knee. Then comes the shock. Mo Yan has been kidnapped by Argus. Shijin is helpless as Argus taunts him, threatening Mo Yan's life. In return, he wants a free pass out of Urk. Shijin warns him to make that deal and he will die by his hand. Inside the car, Mo Yan is bound and terrified, and Argus reveals his creepy plans for the night. Shijin keeps her calm over the walkie-talkie, promising he'll save her. Argus rips the device away and tosses it, severing their only link. Shijin makes the call. This is war. He demands a rescue mission, but superiors try to stop him, arguing politics over lives. He explodes, declaring that if a country doesn't care about its citizens, then it's not his country. Colonel Park gives him 3 hours to disappear and do what he must. Dressed in black and fully armed, Shijin goes rogue. He cashes in his second favor with a VIP, this time for a chopper. Meanwhile, Argus taunts Mo Yan again, threatening her and mocking Shijin's secretive life. She hurls insults in Korean, knowing he won't understand, defiant to the end. Back at base, Dae-young realizes Shijin is gone and finds his uniform neatly left behind. Shijin, now off the grid, prepares for the most dangerous mission yet, to save the woman he loves and take down the man threatening everything. As he drives off into the sunset, one thing's clear: Big Boss is coming. Meanwhile, Myungju wakes up in the hospital to find Dae-young at her bedside. She's recovering, but he's worried sick, especially since Shijin and Mo Yan are off the grid. Realizing something's wrong, he kisses her forehead, leaves his dog tag in her hand, and promises to return. Then, he rounds up 3 Alpha team members for an off-the-books Black Ops mission. Shijin infiltrates Argus's hideout, taking out guards with cold precision. He finds a group of trafficked kids locked away and shoots out the CCTV to hide their presence. Argus, meanwhile, is giddy over a successful wire transfer and stacks of diamonds, instructing his men to dispose of anything or anyone they can't take with them. When Shijin is almost overpowered, Dae-young and his team show up just in time to back him up. Shijin, Dae-young, and Sergeant Choi stay behind to rescue Mo Yan, while the rest of the team evacuates the children. Back in Seoul, General Yu is grilled by Blue House officials over the unsanctioned mission. He takes full responsibility and even offers to resign, arguing that real diplomacy is measured by actions, not red tape. At the hospital, Myungju confirms to Dr. Song that Mo Yan was indeed taken by Argus, but stays tight-lipped about the details. Meanwhile, Argus drags Mo Yan to meet Shijin and taunts him. When Shijin sees a bruise on her face, he loses it and radios his snipers to take the shot, but quickly aborts when he realizes Mo Yan is wearing a bomb vest. Argus holds the detonator, and the tension is sky-high. As the helicopter arrives, Argus refuses to release Mo Yan until he's safe. Shijin stalls, while Dae-young tells him where the detonator is. With steady nerves, Shijin pulls off a perfect shot, destroying the trigger and launching the gunfight. Sergeant Choi dives in to disarm the bomb, while Mo Yan fights panic. Shijin reassures her, Choi is the best there is, and just in time, the bomb is defused and tossed out the window to explode midair. But Argus, refusing to go quietly, fires at Shijin. Mo Yan shields him, and Shijin, with a hand over her eyes, kills Argus. Back at base, Shijin reports the rescue and offers to accept the consequences. General Yu tells him he did well, and no punishment will follow. When the president arrives and learns Yu was ready to take the fall, he commends them all, stating that saving a citizen is more important. Myungju pulls out her IV and stumbles out of her room, only to fall into Dae-young's arms. Later, Shijin sits alone, burning an old photo of him and Argus from when they were comrades. Mo Yan joins him and places her hand over his as he quietly mourns the betrayal and loss. Dr. Song and Nurse Ha tend to Mo Yan's injury, but she breaks down in tears. They comfort her. Life returns to a kind of normalcy. The soldiers go for their now iconic shirtless jog, this time waving at their fan club. Dr. Song, ever the jealous boyfriend, runs off to scold Dae-young for showing off too much skin. Dae-young brushes it off with a grin. Later, Shijin and Mo Yan talk. She confronts him about lying. He told her the village kids were safe, but they weren't. Shijin says he kept the truth from her to protect her. Mo-yeon calls him out, saying that his lies are too serious to overlook, but not enough to walk away from. She struggles to reconcile his dangerous world with her own, breaking down as she admits she doesn't know if she can handle being with someone who constantly lives on the edge. Shijin later escorts Argus's coffin and receives thanks from the U.S. forces. They reflect on Argus as a man who had nowhere left to belong. Meanwhile, the medical team prepares to leave Urk. Mo-yeon says her goodbyes, starting with Myung-ju, who's healing fast and full of sass. They share a friendly moment at last. Mo-yeon checks in on the manager, who's stable and headed back to Korea for prosecution. The diamonds? Already been handed over to the U.S., she also visits Min-jae and Chi-hoon. Min-jae teases Chi-hoon after reading his blood test results. He's going to live, but no apology is coming. Chi-hoon is just relieved to have closure. He gifts the little boy he once helped with new shoes, and when asked what the boy wants in return, the answer is a goat. Chi-hoon laughs and hugs him instead. Mo-yeon can't stop thinking about Shijin shielding her during the shootout. She recalls him burning the photo and crying quietly. She approaches him, offers her hand, and comforts him. Later, they share coffee and a hug. Mo-yeon opens up about the small things that make her happy and asks for honesty. Not about everything, just the things that matter. Shijin nods. When she asks if he loves her more than his country, he dodges with a hug and a cute remark. She knows the answer, even if he doesn't say it. Myung-ju is finally discharged, hungry and in love. She wears Dae-young's dog tag proudly and confesses her feelings. Dae-young smiles, equally smitten. Kai-bum leads the charge as the guys cook dinner for the girls. The food stirs up old memories, leading to a hilarious revelation about a med school sunbae that caused past tension between Myung-ju and Mo-yeon. Realizing it was a mix-up, they laugh it off, though Shijin and Dae-young are clearly annoyed that this guy even existed. Later, Mo-yeon teases Shijin by pretending to call Appa from med school, but he stops her, admitting she's the only one he cares about. She confesses again that she's totally fallen for him, every version of him. They discuss the little girl rescued from Argus's compound. Shijin suggests leaving her with the kind local waitress. The girl agrees, and thanks both of them. As they part, Mo-yeon is struck by how much the girl has grown in just a short time. Mo-yeon and Shijin admire the view from a rooftop. She dreams of a hot bath and rest. He jokes that's exactly what he wants to see. They promise to meet again in Korea. He tosses her the same rock he picked up before, asking her to keep it until they reunite. Then, he takes her hand and they kiss. As the soldiers head out for another jog, the women notice someone new among them, Dr. Song, now confidently shirtless at the front of the pack. Nurse Ha is stunned, and when teased about it, walks away flustered. The Korean flag rises over the Urk base. The medical team prepares to leave, pausing for one last group photo. Back in Seoul, they reunite outside the hospital, ready for whatever comes next. Mo-yeon and her medical team head straight to Haesung Hospital, where they're welcomed with a banner and applause. The managing director puts on a show, scolding Mo-yeon for staying in Urk longer than expected, while handing her a bouquet of roses. Jisoo and Mo-yeon share a heartfelt reunion, trading wild stories from Urk, earthquakes, close calls, and of course, the soldier romance. Jisoo is thrilled by the drama, while Mo-yeon brushes off her life-threatening experiences with dry humor. Back in Seoul, Mo-yeon calls Shijin, and their long-distance banter picks up right where it left off. When the conversation turns to finances, Shijin dodges the topic, jokingly pretending the line is cutting out. He assures her Alpha Team will find her a job if needed, but Mo-yeon isn't worried until she meets with her banker and learns her loan application has been denied due to her sudden resignation from Haesung. The managing director later apologizes to Mo-yeon for his previous behavior, but she isn't interested in reconciliation. Instead, she asks him to process her resignation. When she realizes she can't open her private practice, she vents to Shijin, who is confused about her quitting before securing the loan. Her medical team urges her to reconsider, but she refuses to beg. Frustrated and emotional, Mo-yeon storms into the director's office, demanding an end to the rumors and requesting an ER reassignment. He challenges her resolve, but Mo-yeon is firm, she won't back down. Meanwhile, Myung-ju recovers in her hospital bed while Dae-young remains by her side. When Shijin delivers her transfer papers, she suspects her father's involvement, but Shijin reveals he pulled strings himself, guilt-tripping Colonel Park into helping. Shijin gets a call from Mo Yan, who's still stewing about the loan and his brief visit to Seoul. Their frustration lingers, but affection still bubbles beneath the surface. At the hospital, Mo Yan faces passive-aggressive jabs from Dr. Kim, who accuses her of falling for a soldier. Mo Yan shuts her down with calm confidence. Later, when Dr. Kim tries to publicly shame her, the rest of the medical team silently sides with Mo Yan. Upstairs, Nurse Ha vents about Dr. Kim's attitude to Dr. Song, who lightens the mood with a kind offer to help with her brother's tuition. Dae-young struggles with a decision. General Yoon wants him to leave the military and join Myung-ju's family business. Dae-young finally confesses his love to Myung-ju, but is still torn. Together, they symbolically remove caution tape from a burned patch of land, hinting at new beginnings. Alpha Team returns to Seoul and is granted 3 days leave. Shijin and Dae-young enjoy drinks together, their friendship on full display. Mo Yan shows up at the bar, dressed up for Shijin's return, only to find him drunk. Myung-ju hands Mo Yan her tipsy boyfriend and declares she's off duty. The soldiers joke around while Mo Yan and Shijin share a quiet, awkward moment. Later, Mo Yan finds him still drinking with Dae-young and Shijin. In his drunken haze, sweetly flirts with her. She later joins the drinking and gets drunk as Shijin takes her home. At her house, he tries to help her take off her shoes, but she drunkenly scolds him for trying to flirt with her. During their back and forth, Shijin goes into detective mode after hearing a noise and discovers Mo Yan's mother, who has been in the kitchen the whole time. Her mom sees Shijin and asks who the handsome young man is. Mo Yan's mom is very impressed and thinks Shijin is quite the catch. The duo meets up the next day, and while talking, Shijin receives a call, and he tells Mo Yan that he needs to go to the department store, a code for saying he has to go on a secret operation. She smiles and offers to go watch a movie with him when he returns. Meanwhile, Dae-young and Shijin change out of their military uniforms and into sharp black suits as they report to the NIS for a high-level mission. Colonel Park is leading the team. They're given weapons and even poison pens, in case they're captured and need to take extreme measures. Their mission is to guard a top-secret meeting between North and South Korea in Pyongyang. Shijin has been working with the North Korean team from the beginning, and he jokes with them about grabbing drinks once it's all over. He's surprised to learn the North Korean captain won't be joining them in Seoul afterward, as he will be punished for drinking during the mission. After the operation, Shijin goes to the hospital where he runs into the managing director and introduces himself as her boyfriend. He then meets Mo Yan, but she becomes annoyed when Ms. Kim tries to flirt with Shijin. On their way to meet up with Dae-young and Myung-ju, Shijin gives her a necklace. At the coffee shop, Dae-young shows Myung-ju the photos on his phone, mostly car license plates, explaining she always ran off before he could snap a picture. Myung-ju later finds her photo set as his lock screen and is quietly touched. The next day, Dae-young finds out General Yoon is back and will confront him about the retirement. He's summoned to a meeting with Myung-ju and her father, who informs him of the promise he made to Myung-ju when she was sick. General Yoon hands him the retirement papers, making his ultimatum clear. Myung-ju, heartbroken, tells Dae-young that while she wants a future with him, she won't ask him to give up everything. She walks away in tears, willing to let him go if it means he won't suffer. Elsewhere, Mo Yan and Shijin try to enjoy quiet time together, but her pager pulls her back to the ER. Shijin jokes about always being left behind, but encourages her to go. Their light teasing masks deeper feelings. Soon Alpha Team is back in action, dressed in suits for a top-secret North-South mission. They're given weapons and poison pens for worst-case scenarios. Shijin shares light moments with the North Korean captain, who later ends up critically wounded and rushed to Haesung's ER. Mo Yan takes charge of the surgery, but nothing prepares her for the next patient, Shijin, bloody and unconscious. In a flashback, we see Shijin collapsing after being shot. Mo Yan, in full panic mode, clings to Shijin in the ER as she and other doctors fight to revive him. A flashback reveals that Shijin refused to kill the North Korean captain and his men, but they opened fire anyway. He and Dae-young returned fire, and the captain ended up shot. Fast forward to the ER, Shijin flatlines. Mo Yan desperately performs CPR, begging him to live, even hitting him in frustration. Just when it feels like all hope is gone, Shijin gasps back to life, and Mo Yan breaks down, overwhelmed. Meanwhile, the North Korean captain wakes up and pulls a gun, demanding treatment. Nurse Ha stands her ground. Shijin tells Mo Yan to operate on him, saying the captain saved his life. She hesitates but agrees. In surgery, Mo Yan and Dr. Song find something unusual. a foreign object in the captain's arm. Colonel Park and Dae-young dig deeper into the captain's identity. The attackers were Moldovan, and the captain had a fake passport. Something shady is clearly going on, but answers are limited. Mo-yeon checks in on Shijin, unconscious but stable, and vents her anger at his recklessness. She tells him she won't forgive him if he pulls something like this again. The captain ends up in the same hospital room as Shijin, guarded by Dae-young. Ji-hoon and Dr. Kim examine him, noting previous injuries and his violent background. Dr. Song is horrified when he learns he helped a North Korean soldier, especially one who took Nurse Ha hostage. The hospital finds a suicide pen among the captain's belongings, but Dae-young disables it just in time. Security gets tighter. The director demands that the captain be transferred, but also seems fascinated by Shijin's abilities. Colonel Park questions the captain, who stays tight-lipped. A USB drive is handed over to the National Security Agency, with suspicions swirling that An is being hunted down. Shijin and Dae-young believe the chip holds key intel, which Dae-young had already scanned. Mo-yeon scolds the captain for risking paralysis with his injuries and reminds him not to waste the life he still has. She also chews out Shijin again for his impulsive bravery. Later, Mo-yeon secretly sets up a private meeting between Shijin and Captain An in the CT room. An reveals he was tasked with eliminating defectors and admits the real mastermind is North Korea's Minister Choi. He gives Shijin a second USB, confessing he failed his mission and that Minister Choi orchestrated his betrayal. Outside, under the stars, Shijin reflects on Captain An's words and confirms An's real name, An Jung-jun. It's a name he won't forget. Captain An tries to escape the hospital by jumping across buildings, but Shijin intercepts him. An pleads to finish his mission, but Shijin refuses, telling him he deserves better. An is taken in, but warns of an impending war. In a tense interrogation, An refuses to implicate Minister Choi outright, but confirms that Choi had tried to kill him before. He gives up the real USB and prepares to return to North Korea, even if it means death. Before he leaves, Shijin slips him some snacks and a farewell message. Mo-yeon, furious about the chaos and broken hospital windows, gets chewed out by the director, but dodges the blame when Ji-hoon gets a call that his fiancée is in labor. Meanwhile, Captain An is taken to see Minister Choi, who taunts him for thinking he can oust him. Minister Choi thinks the USB is still hidden in Captain An's body, and he opens a curtain, which gives the sniper he had prepared the visuals needed. Soon, An tries to attack Minister Choi, but the sniper shoots him, and he falls to the ground bleeding. In a meeting with the Blue House aide, Minister Choi presents a list of demands before resuming peace talks that would allow separated North and South Korean families to reunite. He tries to exit, but is confronted with the recording and evidence against him. Just as he finishes speaking, North Korean officials arrive to escort him out. As he leaves, he realizes he's being sent back to North Korea, alongside Captain An, who is still alive. In a flashback, we see Shijin and the Alpha team taking over the sniper spot, and shooting An was part of their plan to convince Minister Choi. Back at the hospital, Dae-young helps Shijin pretend to be asleep when Mo-yeon walks in. She pretends to step out, and as the two try to get Shijin out of his pants, she steps back in, berating them for not being trustworthy. Mo-yeon leaves the room in anger and finds Myung-ju lurking in the hospital lobby. Though she claims she's only here to see Shijin, she tells Mo-yeon that she and Dae-young broke up, and after her initial surprise, Mo-yeon says she understands, as those two are like Dumb and Dumber. The atmosphere is frosty in Shijin's room, though Shijin tries to get Myung-ju and Dae-young to talk. Instead, they argue over who will leave first. Myung-ju leaves, and Shijin asks Dae-young why they broke up, since it seems pretty serious. Dae-young explains about his discharge request, and Shijin gapes that he made such a huge decision without even talking it over with his best friend. Then he tells Dae-young to go after her. Dae-young does, and finds Myung-ju standing alone downstairs. He stops just around the corner from her, though she can see his reflection while Sang-hyun and Ja-ae watch them from a short distance, wondering what they're doing just standing there. Sang-hyun asks Ja-ae to help him pick out a new car, and this time, when he teases her about liking him, she finally admits it, and he buys the car quickly so that he can take her out on their first date. The breaking news is that North and South Korea have agreed to start holding meetings to reunite separated families. And Mo-yeon smiles at the news. She visits Shijin, who complains that he only sees her during her rounds lately, and she asks him why he left the hospital. He says he went to the rooftop for some fresh air, just not the rooftop of the hospital. Shijin asks her to lie down next to him, but she chooses the chair. Shijin asks if she wants to see that movie they keep missing out on, and they sit on his bed together, finally able to enjoy the movie without interruption. At some point, Shijin gets his wish and they fall asleep spooning, and in a voiceover, Moyeon says that she doesn't remember who fell asleep first. Shijin is finally being discharged, and Moyeon's helping him with the paperwork, though he's more interested in charming her and showing off. As she wheels him out, he slips his headphones over her ears, revealing a bootleg recording of her dramatic cliffside confession. Mortified, Moyeon lets go of the wheelchair by accident, sending him tumbling down a hill. She panics, not for him, but for the wheelchair. Shijin teases that she's still a danger to anything on wheels and warns her off public transport. Meanwhile, Dae-young takes Myung-ju out for a meal. He watches in silence as she digs in, then awkwardly explains that he just thought she looked too thin. She pushes him for clarity. Are they broken up or just fighting? Dae-young bluntly says he's in the process of going to Yoon Myung-ju. She questions if giving up his military career is the answer, but he argues it's the only way they can be together. She offers to cut ties with her father to protect his career, but Dae-young refuses. He respects her potential and believes her father has every reason to oppose someone like him. Myung-ju accepts that, but admits it still makes her hate him. Before leaving, she tells him she expects a real answer next time. That night, Shijin calls Moyeon during her bedtime routine, clearly fishing for a peek. She hangs up on him, only for him to show up at her door with beer in hand. After her shower, she finds her place lit with candles, a romantic gesture he remembers she likes. But when she brings up the Arab helicopter that rescued her, he immediately gets shifty. Turns out, he used her business card to call in a favor. She's not thrilled, but he argues it saved her life. Elsewhere, Ki-bum returns to Korea to take his high school equivalency exam, and Team Alpha shows up to cheer him on. They bring snacks, give him advice like pick the third answer, and send him off with encouragement. But then, the team's phones go off as a new mission is incoming. Back at the base, Dae-young is called into General Yoon's office and told that this mission will last 3 months. He's given the option to go or be discharged. Without hesitation, he chooses the mission. Yoon seems relieved and once Dae-young leaves, rips up the discharge papers, a silent acceptance of him as a future son-in-law. Later that night, Dae-young hangs his dog tags on Myung-ju's doorknob. She'll understand what it means. In the hospital, Chi-hoon learns his young friend wasn't saying his name after all. He was asking for a goat. The other doctors tease him for still not knowing the boy's actual name. Shijin breaks the news to Moyeon about the upcoming mission. She tries not to cry, but eventually breaks down, and he promises not to die. As he drives away, her thoughts echo Argus's ominous warning that Shijin is a man full of secrets, and one day he'll vanish for good. Time passes. Moyeon texts Shijin daily, sharing her life despite getting no replies. On the mission's final day, there's only room for one group on the evac helicopter, so Shijin sends the team ahead, planning to catch the next flight with Dae-young. But suddenly, gunfire erupts. A bullet tears through Shijin, and Dae-young struggles to save him. Shijin sees his old captain in a vision and quietly says, "He will go." Dae-young is also shot. The rest of Team Alpha, watching from the helicopter, screams in horror as a fiery explosion consumes the area. Back home, there's silence. Myung-ju and Moyeon, both growing anxious, finally receive the devastating news that Shijin and Dae-young are presumed dead. Myung-ju lashes out at her father, refusing to read Dae-young's letter, because doing so would make his death real. Moyeon reads Shijin's final message, an apology for not keeping his promises and a final confession of love. Both women crumble. Myung-ju sobs in her father's office, and Moyeon collapses when she sees the identical letter in Myung-ju's hand. They face the unbearable truth together. Lieutenant Park visits Moyeon to confirm their deaths. The official story will be a training accident. She signs the confidentiality agreement, her grief hidden under a mask of calm. Moyeon immerses herself in work and gets promoted. When pressured by another doctor to make unethical medical decisions, she stands firm, proving that she's grown stronger. Still, she breaks down privately, missing Shijin more than ever. Myung-ju prepares to return to Uruk, granted permission by her father. She and Moyeon meet one last time before she leaves, reminiscing about the boys. Over drinks, Moyeon asks how Dae-young and Shijin became friends. Myung-ju shares a flashback. They met under an umbrella, and awkward lies led to camaraderie. From the beginning, they chose to fight on the same side. Later, Moyeon visits a coffee shop they once shared. She recalls their playful debate over who should say I love you first, ending with Shijin blurting it out. She takes his stuffed comrade home, lights a candle, and imagines him there with her, whispering that she's beautiful and explaining he'd always intended to return. In Uruk, Myungju carries Dae-young's letter, but still refuses to read it. She speaks aloud to him, telling him to be annoyed that she hasn't opened it. At the airport, Moyeon meets Daniel, who can't enter the country. She's on her way to volunteer at a refugee camp, not only to help, but to visit the place where Shijin died. The next day marks 1 year since he disappeared. She continues to text Shijin, sharing details of her journey, wondering if he'd be proud of her. In Uruk, Ki-boom, now a sergeant, prepares a meal for Myungju. As snow falls, he quietly mentions he used to do this with Dae-young. In the desert, Moyeon finds a memorial site and leaves flowers for Shijin. She remembers his promise not to die and quietly calls him a liar. Her walkie-talkie crackles, Big Boss transmitting. Stunned, she hears her texts marked as read and again hears his voice. Then comes the call. Beauty, turn around. Over a sand dune, Shijin appears, dirty, scarred, but alive. Moyeon collapses, overwhelmed. He runs to her, helps her up, and holds her close as she repeats, "You are alive." Shijin can only whisper that he is sorry. Tears fall as the impossible becomes real. He's come back. In Uruk, Sergeant Kiba marvels at the rare snowfall. Myungju steps out to see it for herself, only to see a figure rounding the corner, and it's Dae-young, injured but alive. Fighting back tears, he finally says what he's held in for over a year. He's sorry for the delay and that he's never leaving her again. Myungju punches him weakly before pulling him in for a kiss, sobbing. Ki-bum is shocked to see Dae-young walk into the barracks. Overwhelmed, he bursts into tears. Dae-young hugs him, proud of his progress, especially when Ki-bum says he passed his equivalency exam. That night, Myungju returns Dae-young's dog tags. She shaves his face gently while he promises never to leave her again. She doesn't quite believe it. She's sure she used up all her luck just getting him back. He tells her that both he and Shijin were captured before the bombing and held in a prison cell for months. Just when their captors were about to kill them, a masked man intervened. It was none other than Young-jun, alive and repaying Shijin for saving him in Seoul. Shijin shares his own story with Moyeon, who scolds him for breaking his arm again. He jokes about the perks of having a doctor girlfriend. She eventually makes him prove he's real by having someone else confirm it. Satisfied, she offers him food from his memorial table and video calls her hospital friends, flipping the camera to reveal him. Everyone freaks out, thinking it's his ghost. Sang-hyun even faints. Amused, Moyeon teases them while Shijin grumbles about their reaction. Moyeon signs off, promising to explain later. Only then do her colleagues realize he's truly alive. Back in Korea, Shijin and Dae-young are welcomed with emotional hugs by Lieutenant General Yoon and even Colonel Park, who can't hold back his tears. Team Alpha abandons protocol, mobbing the two in a massive group hug. Park assigns them to write a detailed report. Dae-young ends up doing all the work, while Shijin suggests they spice it up with Bourne Identity plotlines. Shijin bails halfway through, claiming his girlfriend is here, and Dae-young's isn't. Shijin takes Moyeon to their coffee shop and asks if she remembers dumping him there. She says she might do it again. When asked if he'll keep risking his life, he answers that no soldier plans to become a dead hero. She accepts it, saying it's her way of fighting for his peace. To lift the mood, she asks him to go fishing with her. They go fishing the next day, though Moyeon complains she's bored. When she actually catches a fish, Shijin freezes in horror at the thought of cleaning it. Moyeon steps in, precise and surgical, laughing at his squeamishness. That night, while lying in their tent, Moyeon tells him she kept the white stone from their beach. It was her anchor while mourning him. She tried many times to return it, but never could. When Shijin tries to kiss her, she shuts him down like a pro, ruffling his hair while he sulks. Dae-young calls Myungju just to hear her voice. She says Ki-bum tells her he's really back every morning without her even asking. She admits she can't relax unless she hears Dae-young's voice. The next day, Alpha Team is tasked with escorting a VIP. It turns out to be a girl group, Red Velvet, performing for the troops. Dae-young even dances along, and Shijin shamelessly holds up a sign that says, "Red Velvet is sweeter than my girlfriend." Unfortunately for him, Moyeon sees the fan cam. On a TV show, She cheekily denies having a boyfriend, which sets Shijin off. She's already tattled to Myungju, who scolds Dae-young. The men claim they were just cheering their battalion commander, but no one buys it. The mood lightens when Shijin is promoted to squadron leader. Mo-yeon acts a little too happy about the higher pay, and Shijin teases her. She narrates that she's in love with a squadron leader who protects the innocent, and she's now a renowned doctor, likely promoted to instructor at last. Myungju returns from Uruk and jokes about killing Dae-young for making her wait so long, but seeing him only made her miss him more. He proposes visiting her father, declaring he's staying in the army regardless. She's overjoyed and agrees. At the meeting, Myungju drops a fake bombshell. "Father, I'm pregnant." Yoon glares, Dae-young panics, and she admits it was a strategic move. Yoon finally allows Dae-young to speak. He confesses that even after all he's endured, he never once regretted being a soldier. Yoon calls him son-in-law, saying he had already approved the relationship a year ago. Later, Myungju brings Mo-yeon a Christmas card from Fatima, who's now studying Korean and dreams of becoming a doctor. At the hospital, Chi-hoon shares a video Myungju made. Meanwhile, Ja-ai stumbles across Sang-hyun's secret file. Instead of something shady, it's filled with pictures of her from childhood to now. She confronts him, and he confesses it was his silent love proposal. She tries to brush it off but runs away with a smile. Mo-yeon names her new car Big Boss and has Shijin drive it. They end up at a car wash, where she makes him wash it too. She sprays him with water, then offers her coat. He uses it as an excuse to cuddle. Dae-young and Myungju dine at headquarters, where she teases him with under-the-table footsie. She invites him to the wedding of Yehua and Daniel in Canada. The women, shocked to find out Yehua is marrying Daniel, fume after being told they were just co-workers. Dae-young asks Myungju if she has ever read his will. She says no, so he recites it word for word. She pulls it out, stunned to see he remembered it perfectly. Everyone around catcalls, and Dae-young kisses her forehead. Myungju stands up, makes everyone close their eyes, and plants a real kiss on him. Back at Mo-yeon's apartment, she reflects on the vows doctors and soldiers take. As a new group of doctors and special forces members take their pledges, Mo-yeon and Shijin prepare for a spontaneous trip back to Uruk. They revisit their beach and return the white stone. As the sun sets, they share wine and sweet words. Shijin tells her she shines bright, and she jokes he must have saved the nation in a past life. When he asks what her wish was upon the shooting star, she replies, "A kiss." He grants it, followed by an exchange of "I love yous." The entire crew flies to Canada for Yehua and Daniel's wedding. Dae-young catches the bouquet and clutches it like a prize. Chi-hoon breaks the fourth wall, wondering if the audience likes happy endings. But just then, the lights flicker and someone rushes in. There's been a volcanic eruption. While the guests panic, the soldiers and doctors silently prepare for action once again. Myungju wipes off her lipstick, Mo-yeon says goodbye to her heels, and Shijin loosens his tie as duty calls. If you enjoyed this recap, hit that like button and subscribe for more. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and see you next time.